Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Radio's Yard. That's right. The new podcast is here. And let me tell you, very excited about my first guest I'm bringing on here. Someone who is a frequent on Krantz's Corner, someone who's got one of the best Twitter feeds and Instagram feeds there is in general. Ross Tucker joining me here. Ross, welcome to Radio's Yard.
I love it, Zach. Thank you for having me. I'm very honored to be on Radio's Yard. And listen, we have a deal, man. You said you want the tuck spreads videos posted for every game I do as a broadcaster for CBS and Westwood One, and you lived up to your word. When I post them, you repost them. So it's a good deal. Check it out at Ross Tucker NFL for everybody else that wants to see what the press box food looks like, which varies greatly, by the way, from team to team.
Right. It is the best. Ross does such a good job at that. Love being posted and all that as well. Ross, let's get right to the meat and potatoes here. Draft is over. Obviously, the topic of conversation was Shedeur Sanders and the big drop that happened with him. It's funny because we're not talking about the number one overall pick. We're talking about a fifth-round pick to start us off. What did you think of the Shedeur Sanders drop and everything that kind of went around that?
Well, I guess I was very surprised, like everybody else. Although, you know, it's funny when you go back and you kind of piecemeal it, it makes sense on some level, right? So let's start with this. Only 3 teams decided that they wanted to draft a starting caliber quarterback in this draft, right? Nobody had a problem with the Titans taking Cam Ward, the number 1 guy. There were several people out there that liked Jackson Dart more than Shedeur Sanders. The Giants obviously were one of them. People come on the Ross Tucker football podcast, including my guy Greg Cosell from NFL Films, that said if you just went by the tape and you forgot that he was 26 years old or all the injuries, you would say by the tape that Tyler Shuck from Louisville was the 3rd best quarterback or the 2nd best quarterback in some people's mind. So it's not that surprising that those 3 teams, right, the Titans, Giants, and Saints, passed up on Shedeur. And then once that happened, once you got past the teams that had decided they wanted to take a starting caliber guy and they preferred guys over Shedeur, once it became selections that were more likely as backup quarterbacks, that's when I knew Shedeur was in trouble, because nobody wants the most heavily talked about guy to be the backup quarterback. Nobody wants the backup quarterback to be a lightning rod or polarizing or all of the things that come along with Shedeur Sanders. I think that's why he fell after that. People just don't want to deal with that. It's kind of like the Tebow mania or the Kaepernick stuff. You know, being that high profile is okay if you're really good and if you're a starting quarterback. If you're a backup, most teams don't want that.
Yeah, it's a lot of drama to go with a backup quarterback at that point with that. You're 100% right. Well said by you there. Hunter 2 to the Jaguars after a big trade with Cleveland. I don't like to do draft grades about 3 days after the draft, but what do you think of that trade in general for Cleveland and for Jacksonville? And now Hunter possibly going, and you know this more than anyone else, going on that football field and playing, possibly playing wide receiver and cornerback. What do you think the future of that and this trade is for these 2 teams?
Well, let me start with this, Zach. I did the Colorado State game last year for CBS. Travis Hunter is the best college I've ever seen, okay? And I've been doing this a long time now. I'm 46. I've been obsessed with the sport of football since I was 4 or 5. So we're talking 40 plus years. He's the best I've seen. I don't think people understand with the up-tempo offenses in college football how ridiculous it is that he was playing over 140 snaps. Like, that is absurd. Absurd. And for him, by all accounts, Todd McShay and all these guys that came on the Ross Tucker podcast, they would say that he was the best corner and he was the best receiver. Or they would say that Travis Hunter, the wide receiver, and Travis Hunter, the corner, were both, or each, I don't know how you want to describe it, top 5 players in this draft. That is bananas. And I think that's why the Jaguars felt comfortable making this move. I think it's a very interesting conversation about where you play them, how much you play them on both sides of the ball. Would you rather have 2 very good players or 1 elite player? Because I think that is a distinct possibility. There's a lot of interesting stuff there with Travis Hunter, but you can certainly see, let's put it this way, the Jags would not have given up what they gave up if they thought he was only going to impact one side of the ball.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one too. I think Jackson was excited to do that, get a little pizzazz, and plus Trevor Lawrence, Brian Thomas Jr., Travis Hunter. That's a nice little trio now for Trevor Lawrence going forward. It's funny too because we started this whole thing. We haven't even mentioned the number one overall pick, Cam Ward. Your thoughts on Ward to the Titans at this point? Also, it's weird. We're not talking about it yet. It's like the third or fourth topic on everyone's list.
I love Cam Ward,
Me too.
and I'll tell you why. Number one, he was very lightly recruited because he played in a wing T offense in high school. So did I. So was I. Okay. Number two, then he goes to an FCS school. I did. I went to the Ivy League to Princeton. He went to Incarnate Word. And Zach, I got to tell you, this is the truth. I have a guy, I don't know if you ever had him on one of your shows, but Emery Hunt. Okay. He comes on my show, College Draft Podcast or Ross Tucker Podcast. He was talking about Cam Ward, the Incarnate Word,
Wow.
4 years ago. And guess what? That was the first time I've heard of Incarnate Word.
Hmm.
I had never heard of Incarnate Word before. So this guy's so good, he either invented a college or he's the first person to ever let me know that a college was even in existence. That's pretty good. Okay. Then he overcomes that to get to Washington State, plays well there, gets to Miami. I mean, you know the way pro football is. I think it's super impressive that he went to 3 different schools and had that level of success. I think Cam Ward's going to be fantastic. I call a lot of AFC South games for CBS, and I am thrilled that the Titans took Cam Ward, the Jags got Travis Hunter,
Right.
and then the Colts got my favorite player in the draft, Tyler Warren. I love that dude. I wish I was Tyler Warren. Okay. And so that's 3 AFC South teams that got players that I can't wait to talk about this season.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun as well. Last hot take here, and we're gonna get to one of my favorite things about Ross and having Ross on here. Genty to the Raiders. It's been really a back and forth with everyone I talk to. If they think he's either gonna be this unbelievable superstar, once in a lifetime player, or they took him too early. Fifth pick overall shouldn't be a running back. What were your thoughts on the Raiders taking Genty?
I'm in the middle of those two. I think Genty's fantastic, and I think that the Raiders will get a lot of value out of him on his first contract. His ability to break tackles is insane. And I think we saw last year how valuable it is with all these 2 deep safety looks, how valuable it is to run the football as effectively as Ashton Genty can run it and everything he brings to the table. My concern, Zach, is with him long. You know, I think he was second in the country. I think the leader in rushing yards in college football was Ashton Genty. Second place was Ashton Genty yards after contact. The dude doesn't make very many people miss. And I love watching him break tackles. And it's incredible, his contact balance. But if you're taking that many shots in college, he's going to take even more in the pros, and they're going to hit harder. And I do worry about his durability long term. I would like to see him incorporate making some guys miss into his repertoire a little bit more.
Yeah, I think he'll be fun to watch. To see him and Bowers would be a fun little offense to watch out there also. All right, so now I'm in the sports card hobby, backyard breaks here. If I was going to send you one of the rookie cards for one of the guys in the rookie class, who are you taking? We got to ask you a question about the hobby. Which card do you want of one of these rookies?
Well, by the way, used to be a huge card guy. I actually started a card shop when I was in 6th grade until the borough shut us down because we had no licensing. We were doing it out of my buddy's garage. But I used to be a huge card. It was amazing. Here's what we would do, Zach, okay? Anybody that came to our place to buy packs, and these were all little kids coming to our place. We're in 6th grade. We made them open up the pack in the store. That was like our policy, okay? As soon as they would open the pack and they would have a good player, a good card, we'd say, hey, we'll give you 2 more packs for that rookie card of, I don't know, Junior Seau, right? I'm just making it up. Oh, two more packs? Okay. So nobody ever left our store with a good card. Okay. We got all the good cards. We just kept giving them packs to get the good cards back. It was a brilliant strategy and it worked out fabulously. I would want Travis Hunter. Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, we already answered that.
Right.
He's gonna play both ways. No one's ever done it before. He's the best college player I've ever seen. The guy's a unicorn. He has the potential. I'm not going to go as far as his GM did, but he has the potential to change the sport at lower levels. Give me Travis Hunter's rookie card.
I like that. First off, the CEO of my building, by the way, is going to hear your story. He's going to hire you right away. You better be careful. I'm not going to have to hide that part of the story from you. Don't take my job here, Ross. Thanks. All right, let's talk about something I love talking about you with. One of the greatest gifts for anyone out there, especially when we're getting ready for Mother's Day, even Father's Day coming up, and just really anyone's birthday or holiday. MyFrontPageStory.com. Ross, every time we're on, I love talking to you about it. Explain to the people how great of a gift it is, and really why it's one of the most unique gifts you could possibly give to somebody.
Well, listen, moms are number one pick, right? You don't often hear about a mom being a bust. I mean, if they are, that's incredibly sad. That's a whole other topic at some point. But most moms, okay, are our number one picks. But do we ever show them? Do we ever show our mom or our wife just how special they are? It's called myfrontpagestory.com. You talk to a writer for 10 minutes while you're driving home from work, or you can fill out an email if you want to. They write this incredible story about her. They get pictures from you. It looks like it's on the cover of the newspaper, framed, beautiful. I can't highly recommend it enough. Just to give it to them and say, Mom, I want to do something special. So I had a story written about you. They will be blown away. They will rip that thing up, rip the wrapping paper off because they want to read it so fast. Then when they read the quotes from you and your sibling, or if you get it for your wife, your kids, they cry every time, Zach. Like almost every time. It's like a next gen stat. 98% tears rate. MyFrontPageStory.com. And by the way, they got a 20% discount going right now for Mother's Day. MyFrontPageStory.com.
Ross, always my pleasure talking to you. Always my pleasure talking to you about myfrontpagestory.com and football in general. And now that I know that you're a hobby guy, we're going to bring you on and talk about the hobby more than ever at this point. Now I'm going to be bugging you all the time at this point. But seriously, thanks for being legit the first guest here on Radio's Yard for the new network. We really appreciate it, Ross.
Well, it's my pleasure coming on. The only issue is it's only downhill from now for you, Zach. If I'm the first guest, like you're setting the expectations way too high.
Again, don't tell my CEO that. He doesn't know these secrets that we have, okay? At that point. Ross, be good. We'll talk to you soon. Can't wait for football season to come back. It's right around the corner, right? Or at least 5 months away. We're close enough at this point for me. Thanks again. We'll talk to you soon, Ross.
All right. See you, man.
All right. One of the best to do it, Ross Tucker, myfrontpagestory.com. And what we find out about him today? The guy's a hobby guy. We love to hear that also. One of our first interviews here on the brand new Live at $1 podcast network here on Radio's Yard.